Hail and well met, adventurer. You're listening to One Shot, One Quill. I'm one of the hosts, Ben, and as you may have noticed, something's a little bit different this week. Spencer and I have had back-to-back-to-back busy weeks, and we only had 2 episodes pre-recorded, so this week we decided to do something special. We've taken one of the episodes that we recorded before we started the show, and we've re-edited it into an actual episode. As such, you may notice that there are a few things strange, such as we say a different name, and also we re-roll. These are things we thought would make the podcast good that we eventually decided not to go with. I mean, I guess the name just changed. But we felt this episode was still incredibly fun, and so we wanted to find a way to release it. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be taken back to, well, April 2021 for the special one-off releasing an episode that we didn't originally intend to release. Cue the rest of the music.
Welcome back to Dungeons and Discourse.
What in the world was that supposed to be?
Torture, much like a dungeon. This is a show where my good buddy Ben and I, my fellow intellectual, we hash out these improvised one-shot concepts that you guys send us. We have been graciously provided with a series of starter ideas here, something to get the ball rolling, something for us to snowball off of. And Ben, much like a gum wall at an amusement park, let's see what kind of beautiful masterpiece we can create. You want to roll me a d5?
I will roll you a d5. Let's get that ball a-rolling. Looks like we have a 1.
Okay. Now that would be a Master Chef-based campaign in which the player characters are all chefs. I am delighted, actually, by this. So Ben, let me ask the obvious question. Have you ever seen the anime Food Wars?
I have not seen the anime Food Wars. Perhaps we should take just a second to explain. You really blew right into this. We are going with this plot now, which is a Master Chef competition by I didn't read it, because I'm a bad podcast host. A Master Chef competition in which all the player characters are chefs. So we're doing that. We're taking that. We're homogenizing it along with 2 other ideas that will also be provided and randomly selected, or maybe not. Who knows? We're still in the beginning stages of this. So, I mean, they will be randomly selected today, but who knows in the future?
So that's a great it's a great point you made here. I forgot to talk about our most crucial element. What are the ingredients we're mixing in here?
What about a 25?
A 25 on a list of 50 submitted random items we could insert into this. 25. A lute, which, upon attunement, allows the player to masterfully play the first tune that comes to their mind. However, until 24 hours pass, every other song is played horribly.
All right, that's going to be interesting to incorporate into our Master Chef campaign.
I feel like my first gut reaction, that's the grand prize.
We could go along the sort of metaphysical route, whereas cooking something is sort of a song of food. And so one of the players, or maybe one of the NPCs, has played this lute, played just a beautiful song, forgetting they had this competition coming up. And so now they can't cook anymore.
So I feel like I missed where this was like this was their golden fleece that they needed to cook.
Well, they don't need the lute to cook. That's ridiculous. What I'm saying is that songs are essentially baking of musical notes. So if you can't play a song, you can't cook a meal.
I feel like you rejected my question and then doubled down on what confuses me here. But let's take a look at item 2. Maybe this will make more sense.
What's a 29 strike you as?
A 29 strikes me as a pair of stark black leggings, which give advantage on charisma checks.
Wow, that one's much shorter than the rest of them.
It is, I would say, uncharacteristically shorter than the rest of them. Okay, just some stark black leggings, which give advantage on charisma checks. Ben, I'm wondering, do we maybe table these items, try again, or?
I mean, we could try. Do you want to re-roll the items? We can get a second pass at the items if we want. The item demon has given me permission. He's kind of glaring at me for just suggesting it, but he is nodding his head while glaring.
All right. Well, let's roll those dice metaphorically and then literally.
All right. We got a 26 and a 16.
All right. I feel like fate has shined upon us. Re-rolling has given us two things I think that are actually phenomenal for this entire prompt. Your first one here would have been a bottle of wine, and I need to emphasize this is WHINE, which complains about whichever character just opened it. A bottle of wine, which complains about whichever character opened it. Second is a dragon-sized chicken.
Okay, so that clearly is what they're going after. They need this dragon-sized chicken to win this MasterChef competition.
Now, that is, I think, a principal ingredient on their quest to win the competition. They need to bag because when we think of a MasterChef competition, tell me, Ben, what hurdles jump to your mind? What D&D related obstacles could we have in a cooking competition?
Well, you need a big big chicken to cook.
Now, I think that really the question should have been, when you watch MasterChef, what are you like, goddamn, I need this. I need some extra spice. Because I think you've just hit the nail on the head. Having to murder that which you will cook does seem like an extra hurdle for MasterChef. MasterChef, but you gotta look that thing in the eyes before you kill it.
Is it better or worse than Gordon Ramsay putting 2 pieces of bread on the side of your head and calling you an idiot sandwich?
I would feel... So, like, Gordon Ramsay could take on a whole new role in that universe, where in lieu of making fun of me for poorly preparing the carcass of my prey, he's chewing into me for not... for having such poor technique as I'm battling a 20-foot tall chicken.
All right, so Rorden Gamzee, the half-lion NPC celebrity chef, is throwing a MasterChef competition.
He's a tabaxi, right? Like he's a tabaxi who's like half lion, half man.
Those are a D&D race.
Rorden Gamzee.
Master celebrity chef. Everyone loves him. He needs a big old chicken, and he needs you to kill it yourself.
So hang on, we are the players, we're the contestants, and we are tasked. Our boss fight is going to be killing that massive chicken.
Now, I think this is more of especially since this is a one shot. We'll say you're given a couple hours, and you've got to make this chicken. It's basically whoever makes the biggest chicken wins, and then you got to ask around town. And you ask around town a bit, and you get, there's the big dragon chicken that lives in the cave up on the mountain, but you gotta kill it. And you also gotta spice and cook this chicken.
So maybe we have like an ingredient gathering element here, where we're gonna have people say running out for these rare spices. That could be a decent survival check. It could be a matter of getting past whatever indigenous species is guarding that particular crop, say out in like a jungle area or like in a desert. I don't know if herbs are found in deserts.
I mean, we could go with a sort of boss run thing, because if this is a cooking competition, that's always the thing, is that something goes wrong, you need something you don't have. Well, our thing that we don't have that we need is, some chocolate dust. But unfortunately, all of the chocolate dust has been eaten by the giant mole. So we've got to go and kill the giant mole and take the chocolate dust from its stomach so that we could use it in our really good chicken.
I like that. I like that. We come up with, what are some other exotic creatures that could be suitable steps for a Master Chef competition? I'm thinking like we need a flame elemental to power up a furnace that can cook these bitches. I think we could have pixie dust, which is just ground up pixies, as we all know. This is becoming a contest of cruelty.
Well, isn't all meat eating a contest of cruelty, Spencer?
And for your side, you'll be getting us some Kuatoa legs, which you will rip off in front of a live studio audience.
You gotta get slowed legs, since it's like toad legs, and the French love those.
There are plant creatures. There are living plants in D&D. We got like assassin vines and man-eater plants, thornies, twig blights. Shoot, could we have like a parsley blight?
Here's what might help. Can we get an idea of what kind of chicken we want them to cook?
I mean, I feel like a dragon chicken.
No, not the chicken, the specific chicken. The chicken dish we want them to cook.
Ben, my gut just went straight to chicken tendies, and I know that's not an exquisite dish Gordon Ramsay would want for Master Chef.
Now, Gordon Ramsay might not, but would Rordon Gamsey?
Rordon Jamsey might want it, though.
Now, we could have garlic, but you've got to take it from the vampire hunter in town. He's bought up the town's supply of garlic.
I love the idea of it, and we're going to get too big for our britches here. I love the idea of there being open-ended, like 3 different ways of getting each ingredient. I feel like right up until the chicken, because what are you going to do?
The main little thing here, I think, is going to have to be that maybe it's this competition, but all of the chicken in the town has already been bought. There's no chickens anywhere. So the only option is to go and fight this other chicken. Or, I don't know, teleport to the astral plane and take an astral chicken.
Could also rob one from another contestant.
Nope, they all are held in the chicken vault.
I forgot about the classic improv answer of no. I forgot that one. Shit, you thwarted me again. Okay. So let's step back and assess what we've got so far. We have a bottle of wine that complains every time with whichever user opens it. If we were doing an open-ended thing and we had characters sent to a pantry to retrieve a suitable vintage to pair with the meal, I feel like a failed intelligence check or like a failed skill check to find a suitable bottle is going to result in getting that shitty bottle of wine. That's going to dock you some points on your final score.
Or what if it's just all the bottles and it's a stealth mission, and so if you open up the bottle at all, then you fail the stealth mission?
My question is, why would you be opening the bottle then at that point?
To take a little swig.
So you just drink it on the job, and if you do, then the alarms are sounding because you're drinking on the job.
If none of them have labels, you see, none of the bottles have labels, so one of them's gonna think, "Oh, I could just open this up and chug it," but no, you can't do that.
I'm gonna hit you with an improv classic. Okay. No, and let's just do that thing I said.
All right.
We have a bottle of wine that complains when the user opens it, and we have a chicken the size of a dragon. All to go with our Master Chef style competition where we're all chef characters. It's being hosted by Rordon Gamsey, a Tabaxi renowned celebrity chef. He's hosting this big competition in front of a live audience with several teams, and are our players all on one team? I would assume they are.
I think so.
And each of them is tasked with we have to gather up some ingredients. Namely the chicken itself. That's going to be a big one. We're going to have to go, since all of the chicken supply in town has been bought up or nabbed up, the players would have to go get that chicken. My question is, did the other teams get chicken, or are we racing them to go get that chicken?
I think most of the other teams have gotten chicken, but I think there's going to be one team, and they're the the real Tuttle Snakes rivals of our team. And they also forgot to buy chicken. And so they also need this dragon chicken.
Okay, so we're almost setting ourselves up for a chef-style combat against the other team before we go into the dragon chicken fight.
I mean, maybe the dragon chicken isn't even a fight. I don't know if a chicken puts up that much of a fight, even if it's big. It still can only really peck you. Unless this is a magical dragon chicken, which is half dragon, half chicken, which also does sound very cool.
I'm also wondering, what if the lore is that it's a dragon-sized chicken and it's really a chicken-sized dragon?
There's just a pseudo-dragon.
Yeah, it would just be a pseudo-dragon. That grows like white feathers. It's got a little gizzard. We're describing a cockatrice, I think.
Correct.
We could amp up the cockatrice. I think, honestly, the flesh to stone deal is... you're right, it does bite. The bite only does 1d4 plus 1, but if you fail a very easy con save, it turns you to stone. So I think that's our angle.
Yeah.
I think that's a creature we have to battle in order to beat out the competition. So some of the other hurdles we've got. We have gathering up some suitable herbs to cook this in, which I think gathering up some cloves of garlic could be good, but we could get them from the local monster hunter. Now that to me doesn't seem like too much of a challenge. Wouldn't you just go up and ask him?
He doesn't want to give them out because he's about to fight a whole coven of vampires.
So our options then are to steal them from him and jeopardize the safety of the nearby town because we've ruined the vampire hunter's chances of killing them. I feel like we're the villains for the sake of entertainment.
Kill the vampires ourselves.
Oh, damn, that's a packed one-shot. So we can be like, all right, listen, we'll help you kill the vampires, and then you give us the garlic, because God, we need it.
But what if the vampire's just like one? It's just one vampire, so he doesn't even need all the garlic.
What if it turns out that vampire's a pretty chill dude, too?
I like that the vampires chill, because it then means that your other option is to kill the vampire hunter.
This is Master Chef. I love that shit. The vampire offers you other useful ingredients if you kill the vampire hunter or throw him off. Nope, we're putting that to paper. That's the route. Man, I gotta admit, you did not win me over on Monster Hunter, but now I'm in love with it.
So I think other interesting angles are honey, which is just obviously a swarm of bees.
Sure, gotta fight some bees to get some honey. Are we talking a honey glaze on a garlic chicken?
You know, Rorden Gamzee likes it weird.
This sounds like shit Frodo Baggins eats. I don't know, like, maybe this is legit? Yeah, I got a cockatrice and a honey glaze and some fucking garlic. Eat up, cat boy. Also, here's a bottle of bitching wine. I still feel like we still haven't found an answer to that.
Maybe the wine just needs to be paired.
Yeah, I think the wine needs to be paired. Now, if that's deliberately supposed to... Maybe that's just how Rorden Gamzee likes it. Is he called Rorden Gamzee because he roars like a lion and he's got gams for days?
Yeah.
He's just got some sweet fucking legs. Can we bring back those leggings that we rejected at the beginning and just...
He has them.
He just has them. He'll give you his sweet gam covers. God, this one's all fucking over the place, but... Let's approach this angle. We're not ditching the wine, but we are bringing back the leggings. We've entered a MasterChef competition hosted by Rorden Gamzee, a Tabaxi celebrity chef. Everybody loves him. Absolute dick. Great legs. Check out the gams. For this competition, we need to get a honey-glazed cockatrice basted in garlic. Now, thing is... Garlic doesn't seem that rare. Why is the vampire hunter the only man that has garlic?
He bought it all up for his vampire hunt.
He cornered a Okay, yeah, the vampire hunter cornered the market on garlic, just like someone else bought all the chicken in town.
No,
This is the best fucking episode we'll never release. Just because of how antagonistic we are to this concept the whole time. Oh, God.
Are the only two ingredients honey and garlic?
And a cockatrice. And a cockatrice.
Hey, that's cooking.
That's cooking. It'll get paired with a fine vintage, a bottle of wine that I feel like that's just a cutaway joke. I feel like just Rorden Gamsey has a bottle of wine that just bitches every time he opens it. And he's like, this is how I like it.
Or that could be a thing. You say bottle of wine, but knowing that it's WHINE, and they gotta figure that, they gotta ask around the town folk, what's the best bottle of wine? And they're like, do you mean wine or do you mean wine? And then everyone's just confused because this isn't written out.
And then we're going to have a character who has to deliberate. Okay, so it's WHINE. And do they... Oh, shit. They get a starting budget, and they're going to have to be like, well, shit. We can't just go ask Rorden Gamsey. We're going to have to buy both. We'll have to buy a bottle of purple grape mash and a bottle of bitch juice. Fuck that item in particular. I want to ditch that and bring back the leggings. I hate it the more I think about it.
You can roast your potatoes in the wine. I don't know where these potatoes are coming from, but they're plentiful. You don't need to search those ones out.
All right. And I feel like we also lost the thread on the other team, our rivals, really. I guess our second runners up here. We're going to have to battle them on our way to the Conca-Trees.
Yeah, they took all the honey also. That's just worth it.
They took all the honey. Okay,
that's
so
why there's no honey, and you got to go get it yourself.
Hear me out now.
Okay.
Open-ended, depending on which one you do. So if you opt to go fight the Conca-Trees first, then you run into the other team who's already got all the honey. But if you opt to go get all the honey, then you run into the other team who's just killed the Conca-Trees. What I'm saying is, it's mandatory that you talk to the vampire hunter. That is not negotiable.
I think that's wise.
You feel where I'm at? Okay. Yeah. So, and do we kick the other team's ass and take their ingredient, or?
Oh, I think that's what you have to do if they've gotten to the Conca-Trees first. Otherwise, you lose.
Yeah, that seems fair. All right. And so the other team, since they don't have all the ingredients upon entering the venue, I'm just gonna ye olde venue.
You can just call it what it is: the Great British Bake Off tent.
You just die. You are executed if you even try and enter the competition without all your ingredients. This is also a Hunger Games scenario. So yeah, it's a life or death MasterChef competition. What do we call this one?
Well, I think I've got it. Do you want to give one out?
My first on it, if I can be honest with you, Ben, if I can level with you, even if it's not what you want to hear, my first thought was just the soundbite from Pokemon Stadium's Lickitung minigame where some guy screams, "Who like chow?"
Spencer, can I hit you with this?
Please.
MasterChef, Hell's Chicken.
You hit me with it and you killed me with it. I'm slain.
Right. Well, that's that. MasterChef Hell's Kitchen.
MasterChef Hell's Chicken.
No, Hell's Chicken. You're correct.
MasterChef Hell's Chicken.
Hey, I'm the one who does this.
Oh, yeah, please.
This has been an episode of whatever we call this, because we're currently deliberating. How do you feel about that? Dungeons and Deliberation?
I think that's worse than Dungeons and Discourse.
If this ever does get released, which it probably won't, but that's unfortunate because I came up with MasterChef Hell's Chicken. God damn it.
Kill your darlings, Ben. Kill your darlings.
We are at D&D Pod on Twitter if you want to suggest stuff to us. Our theme song is Alla Tavera del Gugliere by Morgan the Bard.
Oh, Ben, have you
Who's
had
dead?
30 minutes to practice that?
I didn't practice it at all. I just pronounced it like I knew what I was doing.
We still haven't figured out how to say goodbye, have we? It's always the hardest part.
Yeah, keep being you. I mean, we can't come up with it before the show.
True.